Let's just dive right into this, shall we? Welcome to today's explainer, where we're going to strip away all the complex jargon and break down the literal rules of the road for our very own cosmic neighborhood. If you've ever stared up at the night sky and wondered about the grand choreography happening right over our heads, well, you are in the perfect place. We're keeping it incredibly simple today, focusing specifically on how planets orbit and rotate in space, making these massive mechanics of the universe super easy to visualize. So the absolute fundamental question we have to start with is this. How do the planets actually move? It's really easy to think of space as this chaotic, random void where giant rocks just sort of float around aimlessly. But actually, that couldn't be further from the truth. To really get a handle on this, I want you to picture the solar system not as a random void, but as a giant, highly organized cosmic racetrack. Literally, there are lanes, there are runners, and there are strict rules of the road that every single one of them has to follow. Let's meet the participants on this track. 8. Yep, despite the absolutely unimaginable vastness of space, our specific racetrack only has exactly 8 main participants. Sorry, Pluto, but honestly, it's a beautifully finite number of massive worlds. Each one has its own totally unique characteristics, and they're all locked into this continuous, never-ending race. Keeping our focus on just these 8 major players helps us grasp the simplicity and the sheer scale of our cosmic neighborhood without, getting lost in the infinite void. But here's the kicker. All 8 of those wildly diverse worlds are anchored by one single entity, our sun. It is the absolute gravitational boss, the literal center point of our cosmic racetrack. Think about it. Without this one star holding everything together with its immense gravitational pull, those 8 planets would just fly off into the dark, freezing depths of space. The sun is the ultimate anchor that makes this entire system work. Okay, before we go any further, let's lock in a crucial piece of terminology. An orbit is the specific path a planet takes to travel completely around the sun. It's one full, continuous lap around our central anchor. But here's where it gets really cool. Planets aren't just, sliding along this track. They are also spinning like tops as they move. That spinning motion is called rotation. So while an orbit dictates the path through space, the rotation dictates how the planet spins on its own axis. Today, we're really looking closely at how those continuous laps and spins work together. And that brings us right to the first major rule of the cosmic road. All traffic flows counterclockwise. Imagine you're floating high above the North Pole of our sun, looking down at the entire solar system like a giant map. You wouldn't see traffic going every which way or planets dodging each other in oncoming lanes. No way. Every single planet moves in that one unified direction. And you might be wondering, why? Well, billions of years ago, the giant cloud of gas and dust that originally formed our solar system was spinning counterclockwise. And today, every single planet is still marching to that exact same ancient beat, perfectly preserving that original momentum. Which beautifully sets up our next rule, and this one is all about speed. So the inner planets, the ones holding those inside lanes closest to the sun, they orbit much, much faster. Because they're gripped so tightly by the sun's intense gravity, they have to constantly zip around the track at incredible speeds, literally just to avoid falling in. Meanwhile, the outer planets hold the wide, distant lanes. Since they are so incredibly far away from the sun's gravitational pull, they take their sweet time. They orbit so much slower, steadily and quietly making their massive, sweeping journeys in the dark. It is an absolutely stunning dynamic speed difference right there on our cosmic racetrack. So let's quickly recap our master blueprint here. We have 8 main planets orbiting one central sun. We know that all traffic moves in a strict counterclockwise direction thanks to that ancient spinning dust cloud. And we know that the inside lanes, those inner planets, are moving considerably faster to fight off the sun's gravity. This beautifully simple framework dictates exactly how our solar system operates on a macro level. But now that we have the grand rules down, let's shift our focus to something a little more personal. Transitioning our narrative down from the massive mechanics of the entire solar system, we absolutely have to ask, where does Earth fit into this whole system? Out of all those racing worlds we just talked about, where exactly is our home planet positioned on this giant track? Well, we sit right at position number 3. We are an inner planet cruising in one of those faster lanes, positioned perfectly in what scientists affectionately call the Goldilocks zone. We're not too close to the sun to burn up, and we're not too far away to freeze. We are just the perfect third rock from our central anchor, riding the track in the absolute ideal spot for life to exist. And because we are in that third lane, traveling at our own specific, incredibly fast speed, completing one full orbit takes exactly 365 days, which, as you know, is exactly what we call a year. So literally, every single time you celebrate a birthday, you are simply celebrating the fact that you survived another complete counterclockwise lap around the sun. But hey, remember our concept of rotation from earlier? As Earth runs that massive lap, it's also continuously spinning on its own axis. One full spin takes 24 hours, giving us our clock and driving our days and our nights. You are literally spinning while you run the track. So, as we continue to spin through our days and race counterclockwise through our years on this massive moving system, I want to leave you with this thought. What other invisible rules are silently guiding us through the dark? The universe is unbelievably vast, but the fundamental mechanics that keep us spinning, they're beautifully simple and elegant when you really break them down. Keep asking questions, keep looking up, and definitely keep learning. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.